So which session are you most excited about at the conference this year?
So, well, first of all, Social Media Week actually happens 4 times a year. This is sort of a new addition for 2015. Our next big conference, obviously, is coming up next week towards the end of February. And it's taking place, of course, in 7 different cities, so 7 cities simultaneously. So as we look across all the content and programming that's happening next week, there is so much incredible stuff that's happening. And to a certain extent, I think that when you look at the schedule and you look at the program, it's really a reflection of what's actually happening today, in social media, in emerging media and technology. A couple of things that I'm particularly excited about here in New York, of course, which is where Social Media Week started back in 2009. We have actually Martha Stewart, who's going to be giving one of our sort of keynote talks. Martha is hugely into robots and drones and the sort of the maker movement, and so she's going to be talking about drones specifically, but really how is that changing technology? How's it changing the media landscape? What does it mean, and where is it sort of heading in the future? And actually, we're going to be hosting a drone jousting competition with Martha and with our partners, the Barbarian Group, which will be hugely fascinating and very exciting, I'm sure. In addition to that, though, we also have Reverend Jesse Jackson, who is going to be also giving a keynote here in New York. He's going to be talking about diversity in tech. Hugely important subject to him, a hugely important subject to the industry, of course. We also have, I don't know if you guys are into podcasts. We're like super huge fans, really passionate about the podcasting movement. We have one of the pioneers, Alex Bloomberg, used to be Planet Money, then he was This American Life, and then sort of started Gimlet Media, the startup podcast, which has become hugely popular.
I listen to Reply all the time.
Exactly. Great shows. He's an amazing storyteller. We're really excited to have him on stage talking about the podcast movement, the podcast revolution, and what's happening in that space. And then also we're looking at kind of big business as well, right? So we have Beth Comstock, who's the CMO of GE, a true innovator in the marketing space, working for an enormous Fortune 500 company. And she's going to be talking about how do you innovate from within a large organization like GE. So, it's Social Media Week, but it's not all about social media. We're tackling a lot of different subjects over the course of the week, which is hugely exciting.
Absolutely.
So exciting. Really looking forward to the conference.
Yeah. If there's one thing that I definitely noticed from watching online last year, which was also a great experience because you integrate all of the technologies so well together, it's that this is not only about social media, it's about the innovation in technology. It's about bringing together different ideas for companies to really kind of vibe off of together and take those back to their homes and their businesses and try to implement these strategies and best practices.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. When we started out, we were really looking to try and elevate the conversation a little bit in terms of thinking about not what's just happening in marketing, but also what's happening, at a societal level, culturally, etc. And today, we talk a lot about sort of this idea of reimagining human connectivity and the role that technology has in terms of changing how we connect and communicate. And that's to a certain extent the common thread that runs through a lot of what we do. But yeah, we tackle a lot of different subjects, and I think that's important because there's nothing, there has been nothing as big or as significant to impact society and impact, I think, human behavior as technology, as connected technologies and social media. And so I think looking at that, exploring it, understanding it, and helping people really sort of figure out what does it mean for them and where is it going in the future. That's our role and obligation, as a conference and as a platform that brings people together around these conversations.